Good morning. We've spent quite a bit of time this summer looking at the red stuff. The red stuff being the words that Jesus said in the Bible. Some Bibles have those things written in red to show that they're important. And of course, we think anything that Jesus had to say would be important. And so that's why we've been looking at it. Well, we used the curriculum that was about the red stuff. We thought it would be fun to make our own. So that's what we're doing. A few weeks back, we started looking at some of the phrases found in the Sermon on the Mount where Jesus said, "You've heard it said." The Sermon on the Mount was found in Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7. And in some of his most important teaching found in the Bible, the Lord's Prayer is mentioned in there, and all sorts of different things about loving our neighbor and all those things. Well, in here, he's saying, "You've heard it said," in reference to the Mosaic Law. Now, the Mosaic Law was laws given to Moses, thus the name Mosaic Law. Laws given to Moses in the Old Testament when he was on Mount Sinai, when the Israelites were wandering through the desert. If you remember, he went up in the mountain and spoke with God, and God wrote laws for him. Some of those, of course, we call the Ten Commandments. Well, he wrote other laws as well about how we should treat one another and different things about how we live our life. And so in those laws, this is what Jesus is making reference to. In one of those spots, he speaks about "you shall not commit adultery," meaning sex outside of marriage. And he also then, though, goes, not only that, he says, "You've heard it said, you shall not commit adultery," but then he talks about lust, that even when you lust, you are also committing sin. Because what happened in Jesus' time, the religious leaders of the day, they took the Mosaic Law and they made interpretations about it. Well, how do I apply that to my life? And what Jesus was saying, their interpretations were not actually God's intent. He says you need to go farther. And so that's what we're looking at today. So I'm going to have you stop the video, and I want you to look at your discussion guide, and then in a minute we'll come back and we'll do a little bit more. Thanks. I hope you had a good discussion. And in a moment, we're going to look at that specific teaching a little bit closer. But first, I have to find out what my friend Mitch is doing back here. Mitch, what are you doing?
Getting ready to cut off my hand.
Why in the world would you want to cut off your hand?
Because Jesus said to do it.
He did?
Yeah, in Matthew during the Sermon on the Mount, he said, if your right hand causes you to sin, chop it off and throw it away.
Oh, what possibly could your right hand have done to deserve being chopped off?
Well, I was driving the other day and some guy cut me off, so I flipped him the bird.
Well, certainly flipping somebody the bird is a sin. But I'm not sure if that's exactly what that teaching means.
Well, it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to hell, so...
Well, certainly you're right about that. Safe is good, but I don't know if this chopping off your hand is a solution, Mitch.
I think I'm going to give it a shot.
Well, I hope well, I guess.
I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand.
I have no idea what I'm saying right now. We can even do outtakes, like at the funniest home videos. You know.
Oh, sorry, action.
Ah,
I
action.
said it, but not very loud.
Oh.
Well, I'll give you that. It is good. It's better to be safe. And yes, I am stuttering right now. And let's do that one more time.
All right.
Is there anything on there?
I don't think there's anything on there.
All right, let's take a tissue and wipe that baby up. You know what? We screwed that up because I forgot the bird. Yeah, okay. All right.